Hello and welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year to you, and we have the New Year's units that have just dropped in Nier Reincarnation, and this is absolute insanity. We have a major step up in power creep here. Let's get right into it. Let's waste no time. Let's start with the queen herself, New Year's Sarafa. So a quick look at the kit. We see kind of pretty low HP for today's standard, but it's not going to matter at all. The attack is pretty high. It's not top tier, but again, that's not going to matter once we see just how much caged vigor she has. Let's get right into the juice here, and that's the character skill. Enter a dauntless state for 60 seconds. That's a whole 60 seconds of like not being able to die. Consume 99% of current HP, so that gets you right down to 1 HP where you want to be to maximize dynamic caged vigor. Reduce your skills cooldown by 100% when own affinity is dark. So, yep. So PvP, obviously, come in right away. Use the skill, be invincible, have so much caged vigor, which we'll see in a moment, that she'll most likely be capping. Now, so the first passive here is 80% dynamic caged vigor. That's already just insanely high. Even like if she didn't have this crazy unique gimmick, that's very desirable and reason to pull for like a PvE unit. At A3 she gets even more, and this is static. And then Void Drive, why not? Let's boost it even more. The debris is top tier, really cool. This is definitely a unit worth pouring into, but we don't have the single character banners anymore, so it's going to be a little harder. Yeah, so she's ridiculous. She breaks the game in half. So let's look at the weapon here. If you're using this weapon, then you're going to have even more 60% caged vigor attached to that skill. More caged vigor on this passive. That's more dynamic. Another 50. I don't have the math for you, but it's so much that she's just going to be capping, I'm pretty sure. Now, I haven't tested her, and I'll tell you why at the end. Increase your own attack. So, pretty cool. Really nice looking stats on the weapon. This is going to be great in PvE or in Arena. Remember that she has an immediate cooldown after using her character skill. So, you can throw any weapon you want on her. And you will have to wait because the cooldown won't happen until the next turn after, I'm pretty sure, after you use that character skill. So on quick cooldown builds, it's gonna, her skills are gonna be ready at the same time anyway, but she can use a weapon that has crazy long, like a 26-second cooldown. And it's not gonna matter because you'll be able to use it right away. So yeah, this is 26 seconds. You'll be able to, if you wanna use this, you can use this in Arena and do crazy damage. Yeah, with enough of her taking hits and you cycling skills, you can probably even loop her character skill and just be invincible. So it's hard to imagine a scenario on offense where you don't have a 100% chance of winning if you're using her. So long as the enemy team, using the same Sarafa, so long as you disable her. And we'll see we have just the thing to do that. So, coming in and disabling the other Sarafa and having this Sarafa and assuming she didn't get sniped before you could click her character skill, it's just a guaranteed win on offense. And I'm also having trouble imagining a defense team that you could build that could possibly do anything about it unless you are able to sneak in a summer wife that nobody saw. And if it's the case of like, no compromise, no disabling, then and you have Sarafa versus Sarafa, then it's whoever casts later will have the dauntless for longer. Part of me is very eager to test it, and the other part of me isn't. We'll find out why in a moment. Okay, so let's continue on. So yeah, Sarafa breaks the game in half. Let's continue. We have New Year Griff. Now, what's funny is on the Christmas banner we had a water Yuri that updated last year's water Griff, and now on New Year we have a wind Griff that updates last year's wind Yuri. But let's take a look here. Once again, super low HP. I'm really surprised by that, and then almost top tier attack. But we're going to see that this crazy DPS Griff is coming in with party support, just like we saw recently, but even more. So yeah, it was Yuri that we saw, right? Like Yuri was like the new water DPS, but she had like party a water buff. Well, this guy has party pursuit and party wind buff, and then crit damage multiplier on his 5-hit, which is a generous multiplier of 330. It's going to be insane as a wind DPS, and then buffs the party. And according to Lissy, who has used Yuri extensively and gotten the X score in every element, that party buff really did help him to push the damage from the whole team, and that it was necessary to get that X score. So yeah, so even though he's going to be your DPS and you'd be happy with those buffs just going to him, you know, apparently buffing the party does help you push to that next benchmark there. Okay, so this is awesome. We haven't seen 60% yet on a elemental pursuit. So, and it's not locked behind an A3. And then what is this? A drive? Yeah, drive, which is nice, you know, boosts the stats of wind weapons. And then an A3 that you can skip. So that's pretty cool. I think he'll be fine with all these multipliers and whatnot. He'll be fine at A0. You know, even though the stat won't be quite as impressive. The weapon is coming in with good-looking stats again. Really high HP, good-looking attack. We got a combo skill. I haven't seen one of these in a while. These can do tons of damage in the right scenario. These are great in Fateboard, where you're definitely doing big combos. Maybe Subjugation, although that's not always the strat in Subjugation. A lot of all the high performers I see in Subjugation are doing really unique weapon order and like weapon skills at certain times, and it's not necessarily a big combo Subjugation. So okay, yeah, a wind crush on it. Awesome weapon, and if you don't even like it as a main, which it looks great as a main, this is an awesome set of passives. I don't think we've seen Pursuit 25% with Tempest Haste. Great sub weapon, and yeah, I like it as a main too. Lower multiplier, but you know, for a lot of us that aren't pushing the upper percentile of Subjugation. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't talk. I guess I haven't tried in a long time, but it was often the case I needed my DPS, like one skill from them just to trigger the knockdown. But you know what? That's changing. The last couple of runs I did, I've been able to trigger it before. But this is still cool, you know? And then, like, this is the... No, you won't get that combo bonus. Never mind. Sorry, I'm thinking as I go, but yeah. I'm not so sure about Subjugation usage, but great sub-weapon. And hard PvE content, it'll be awesome. All right, so here is the counter to Sarafa. So we have finally, after so long, we have the second unit that has the compromised effect. Really quick though, looking at the stats, this is nice. He has over 100 HP, and then the attack is a little dialed down for today's standards. Which could be, countered with this awesome Bolt Vigor value. That's 40% on an A3. That's quite a bit. And yep, as a sniper, you see, we got another one of these 60%. And it's timed though. And then we also have quite a bit of cooldown. So great as like an arena sniper. And then the real juice here is the compromised skill. Usable at start, has 5 hits, so those 5 hits can shave off damage reduction. And compromised for 60 seconds, only one enemy, whereas Summer Wife had it to the whole party for 30 seconds. And then if you're using water, you get a self-heal, which synergizes well with the Bold Vigor. Yeah, so if you're serious about Arena, you want Sarafa and you want Yudil. That's 2-in-1, 2-on-1 banner, and, you know, no option to do single pulls. And I know most people weren't really liking those individual banners, but I could definitely go for it now because, yeah, if you are in a situation where you want to be serious and competitive, you want an A3 on 2 different characters on the same banner, and the rates are abysmal. And myself and a lot of people I'm seeing in the community had really bad luck. Now, I haven't spent money in a long time, but I figured, let's do it. You know, these characters are like the next step up. This is crazy. I'll go ahead and spend money and do a full paid pity. Just pretty expensive in, you know, in my opinion. And the rates are just trash. So like each character on the unpaid regen banner is 0.5, you see? And then on the paid, you'd think it would be a little nicer. And I haven't looked at this in a while to compare it, but it's only 0.6. That's hardly an increase. And let's see, the step up format here says that if you get a 4-star with a character on 1, 3, or 5, it's guaranteed to be one of them. But with those rates, don't count on it. And then step 5, you guarantee one. So 10,000 gems to do 5 steps. And what can very possibly happen is Griff drops on all 3. Because that's what exactly what happened to me. And tell you what, that is not the way I wanted to start the new year. I was having a great night with friends, and Arena ended, and it's time to do gacha pulls, my favorite thing, you know? And, you know, the possibilities are there, and I should expect it. You know, the rates are published. I could have looked at the rates. I could have done the math and said, like, you know what? This might possibly happen. I might not get a single drop on all 3 steps. Not get Yudil or Sarafa once and get Griff 3 times, making him A2. Yeah. So after that, I came here and started spending some free gems, and I got 1 copy of Sarafa, went all the way to pity, and now I'm just in this difficult situation. And hey, that's how gacha goes. That's just how it goes. But I'll be honest in saying that experience doesn't have me very excited to play the game right now. I think I need a few days off myself. So that's how I feel about it. You know, you should be pulling here. These units are amazing. And even if you don't care about PvP, she's going to be insane in PvE. Like, in Fateboard, again, I haven't tested it, and like I told you why. I'm a little salty right now. But I could see her soloing Fateboard quests. I could see her capping easily in Subjugation. This is just insane. And I don't know if this is like the bar that's going to be set, and then when we see Fest units next month, you'll want them even more. I have a feeling that she's one of these units that's just going to be like the only thing like that we see for a long time. So should you pull? The answer is yes, and I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully your luck is better than mine. And definitely share your thoughts in the comments. Did I miss anything? And I know some of my community friends have the math of her caged stacking figured out a little better. Go ahead and comment that, and I'll pin it. And again, share your thoughts. And if you're pulling, the best of luck to you. If you haven't pulled yet, I hope you get everything that you want here. All right, that's going to be it for this one. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.